Sim.
Fala. Como você
Oi.
diz? Fala bem-vindo? Fala oi? Como você diz isso?
Welcome. É bem-vindo. Uhum. Ah,
Pode falar salutação?
saudação também. Saudações, meu povo, minhas povas.
Não,
Fala
não, eu
assim, bem-vindo, cambada de arrombado.
Booby Knife, Boker, Excalibur 1, Frank Frazetta, Painting, Queen of the Damned, official channel knife at this point. I might change it up actually. And you'll see what once I get it. I need to email. And okay, so let's do a quick unboxing of the clam pack. This was what, $20, $25, I think. Oops, wrong one. This one. Yeah, let's see. What's this? Huh? That does nothing. What's
Oh,
this? Nothing. What's this? Nothing. What's this? Nothing. Okay. Wait, no, this. Yeah. Okay. So which one's this one? Oh, yeah, this is the fro. Jason Brown was mentioning a fro is basically a type of chopper meant for chopping wood. So it's essentially like a knife slash axe, which admittedly deserves its own name. So this is kind of exciting for me. I mean, it's literally my first fro. Also, it's like Schrade. I don't know how their heat treat is. I couldn't tell you. It's 1070, which obviously 1070 is not 1075 and it's not 1095. However, maybe it's better that it's soft because if you're chopping, you might very well want something softer. So it says there $29.99. I think I probably got it on sale for $25 or less, which is tremendously affordable if you think about it. So.
open. Vamos ver. Demorou para abrir essa faca, essa manchete.
Okay.
Você tem mó tempão que tem essa. Você tem mó tempão que você tem essa manchete fechada aí. Não abre.
Não entendo. Eu não abri?
É,
Mas eu abri agora.
isso. Vamos ver. Oh.
Okay, there it is. Let's see if we can see the thickness of the spine. Yeah, that sucker is thick. And that edge seems
Hey, Marcos.
good.
Hello, my friend.
Hey, Marcos. And then, I mean, it's pretty doggone heavy. It seems like a blistering edge. You know what I didn't do? I didn't track down those coupons. I forgot about that. So, well, there goes their little warning label. What do these warning labels say? Anyway, it's gone. So, and it says woven fabric belt sheath. Here's what it says there. It says overall length 18.9 inches. Blade length 13.6 inches. Weight is 1 pound, 8.3 ounces. 1070 high carbon steel TPE handle. TPE is a thermoplastic. Can you see? Those are the specs.
Deu pra ver.
So that's pretty much all it says. Doesn't say anything else really. Made in China. Oh, here we go. A Bettenfield product. Columbia, Missouri, a subsidiary of American Outdoor Brands Corporation. So I think for a while people weren't quite sure. Oh, this is, although by the way, it's SCHF 64CP. You see that? So because I guess some people were wondering, like, who even owns Schrade these days? because it's getting bought and sold. Hey, Goondocks, how's the blade holding up on the Frazetta? It's a 440C. It needs a strop. But the normal Boker Excalibur is S35 VN, I'm pretty sure. But this version they did in 440C. You can see 440C. I also got it for a fraction of the price. If you remember, I was telling people. I think you got the last one of these, Goondocks. Because I was like, yeah, you got to get this. It's like super cheap right now. And I mean, it's all banged up already. Look, it's got these scratches on the thing. I kind of wish I didn't use it. I kind of should have kept this. This of all knives, I should have kept it as a safe queen instead of making it the channel knife. But oh well. I do like it. I mean, the flipping action is fantastic. Thus far, actually, it's my favorite front flipper, and I don't like front flippers, honestly. I really don't. But this one has fantastic action.
A qualidade da lâmina é boa?
É mais ou menos, né? É não incrível, mas é bom. É suficiente.
É forte, né? É resistente? Então tá.
So this is your typical Schrade sheath. They put like a stiff foam. So it's actually quite padded. I don't think there's an actual plastic insert. Here's okay. And a button. Okay. So
Hey, Winchester. Hey, Peter.
Hey, Winchester.
Hey, Gondok.
And then they have this paracord stuff, so that means you could pretty much lash it to a pack and such if you wanted. Not exactly sure. Oh, and for the trolls. Okay. I don't get trolls, I get stalkers. Isn't that funny? Okay. So I suspect this is going to go in either way. And that is one thick chunk of steel. Can you see? There. Look at that. I'll get out my calipers later. Ooh, that is a tight fit. Yeah. That's a tight fit. So yeah, I guess it's ambidextrous. I mean, it's going to have to be because it's basically a square. Let me see if it fits better this way. As a matter of fact, it doesn't really seem to make a difference. Yeah, there we go. And it's got this cheap TPE handle. It's slightly rubberized. It's fairly soft, believe it or not. And there we go. I mean, the retention is good because it's kind of a tight fit. Got your antimicrobial. So once again, they're doing this thing. So I guess that makes it so that it's easier to get it on and off your belt, but kind of makes me wonder how strong that's going to be. I mean, yeah, I kind of don't like that. I don't think it's that great. I mean, because it's double stitched right there. You see that? It is double stitched, but it doesn't seem like it's particularly all that strong. Okay. I was looking at those BPS knives. They are not bad from what I can find. Oh, hey, Peter. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, exactly. And I regret. I should have gotten another one. I literally went to I was like, you know what? I need a backup one because I love this knife. I love the art. I love this painting. I think they did a good job of it. And then, and I had just announced it, and I went to go look, and they were all gone. I was like, dart. I had 20 Schrade fixies. You can't go wrong for the money. Really? That's really good to know. Then again, the time period. I mean, you might have gotten it at a time when they were still decent. today, who knows? Maybe the heat treat is awful, but I mean, they offer 1095 fixed blades for $30. I mean, hey, Blade Freak, really? Oh, hey, thanks for joining in. How's the blade holding up on the Frazetta? Oh, yeah, that's right. I already answered that. Okay, and this one. Yeah, the thickness on that. Let me see if the packaging mentions it. No, it doesn't, but it's got to be. I'll get out the calipers right now if you want. I mean, it looks like it's at least a 1/4 inch. I mean, I swear to God, it might even be more. It's just a big hunk of steel. Remember, being a fro, it's really not meant to be a blade. You know, it's not literally not even a machete. I forgot to turn on my ceiling fan, so I'm hot, and the switch is all the way over there. Tell me if you did this. Look, I'm of that age where I was raised in the era of Star Wars, and when I was in those situations, I would be like, turn on, use the Force. I'd be like, use the Force, Luke. Because I was just like, I can't get up to hit the switch. I just can't do it. Tip down, burn it with fire. Winchester, get off my live stream with that shit. Okay. There's a good solution for you. That's the problem. You got to have the remote control nearby too, otherwise it defeats the purpose. I still do that one day before. But the thing is, see, I was young enough that at the time, it was kind of like Santa Claus. It was like, I knew Santa Claus didn't exist, but sort of. And it was like, look, I knew Star Wars was a movie and it probably wouldn't work, but I was like, maybe if I concentrate hard enough, it'll work. I sort of love that thing, man. The Fro or the Star Wars? Or okay, yes, or remote disappears for like 3 months. Oh yeah. And you find it like slid in between like cushions on a couch or like between the wall and the mattress. Yeah. Okay, well, turn the fan on while you're there. You find the Yep, there you go. Because you lost it for 3 months and now the batteries don't work. Exactly. Murphy's Law, right? Okay. Let me go dig up the calipers over here.
Knife box, cabe. Mó que frio.
Okay, so these were. Oops! I just knocked the thing. These were the absolute cheapest I could find at Harbor Freight, Pittsburgh, 6-inch digital caliper, metric and SAE, which is standard American something. I don't know. Oh, look, it even says Harbor Freight. Oh, so I guess the Pittsburgh brand is the Harbor Freight in-store brand or whatever. And so there we go. There's the specifications, blah, blah, blah. So as you can see, I haven't even opened it yet. But I got that just for the channel like years ago. And, you know, kind of like everything else, I was like, oh, I'll get to it when I get to it. So now I'm getting to it, finally. So let's see. Oh, wait. What if there's no batteries? Oh, what if there's no batteries? No. Okay.
Bateria. Isso é bateria.
Uh-huh. I picked up the Sniper Blade Works DMF last night. It's a monster. Sniper DMF. Yeah, I'm not Sniper Blade Works. I'm not familiar. And I'm definitely above my budget. I know that much. I thought we could bond over midnight conversations about tight fits. Oh my God. I was about to send my own personal story about tight fits, but now I'll just keep it to myself. Wow. You know, Winchester, you show up to everybody's live streams and you take it into the gutter. This guy over here. I'm sure you can squeeze that in somewhere, Winchester. Just fit it where you can. I think Winchester, I think Peter just outdid you, bro. Sniper is actually pretty reasonable price if I remember. Oh, really? Yeah, but Blade Freak, I think you and I have a totally different concept of what's affordable. Remember, when I first started my collecting, Civivi, even though I knew it was meant to be a budget brand, for me, Civivi was my upper. You know, I was like $40 for a knife. You know, Kershaw sells knives for 15. You know, so I was definitely in that Kershaw range at the beginning. So there's how to use it. There's the instruction manual. Let's see. Okay, let's hope I know how to use it. We'll soon see. They have some silly little fuzz lining in here and a silica packet. Okay, here we go. Silica packet. Yay. All right. And a warning label. Okay. They give you a replacement battery because there's already one in here and it's already on. So there we go. So it's all the way closed. And then I hit the 0.
O bom que esse é automático.
Come on. Am I supposed to? Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. It keeps going off by 0.01.
E aí?
I'm going to go with inches. And we are going to grab out the fro. Blade Freak there going for 450 on BHQ. Yeah, see, 450 to me, that's not affordable. If I'm going to pay 450 for a knife, I'm getting a 20.5 80/20 period. +1 Peter, yep. So not so reasonable, really. No. Oh wow, they are not that high at my local shop. Really, that's cool. Blade Freak, did you say you were in Texas? There, Schrade, that Schrade. Did I miss the unboxing? Yeah, I mean, kinda. It was just a clamp pack. It was just this clamp pack. That's it. Words hurt, Hollywood. After I was hyping up your mustache and ponytail game. Tell all the internet you have them better than Danny Trejo and even Steven Seagal. Hey, everyone's got better everything than Steven Seagal. Although he was a legit guy. He used to, I don't know if you guys know, Steven Seagal, when he was in Japan, first of all, he's the first Westerner to reach high rank in Aikido. And he used to go out to the Yakuza district and just stand out there and talk shit to all the gangsters and say, I'll fight anybody, and would just street brawl with these gangsters. So that's kind of how he got his game in the early days. He's kind of turned into a douchebag now, but back in the day, the dude, I mean, but then again, he's also 6'4", fighting a bunch of little Japanese gangsters. So it's true, Winchester. I remember that. Oh my gosh, you guys are just ganging up on me. But I definitely remember closer to 200 at my local shop. Oh, okay. Yeah, 200's, you're right. That's doable. Okay, here we go. I'll open it up, and it's saying Yeah, it's just under a quarter inch. Yeah. It's saying 0.225. So 0.25 would be a quarter inch. So it's just under a quarter inch.
Não dá para enxergar direito.
Yeah. But it stays that all the way to the tip. So, man, just looked up something. I take that back. It must have been a price hike, but they are small shop mid-tex. But they are. Okay. Oops. How am I missing some of these? Was he drunk? Who knows if he was drunk or not, but you know, he used to go out there and whoop some ass. Although the other story I know is, do you guys know who Judo Gene LaBelle is? He used to be like a Hollywood stuntman, and he taught a lot of the OG greats. Judo Gene LaBelle was the teacher for. Do you guys remember Caro Parisian and his younger brother? They were in the UFC in the early days. He Caro Parisian is Armenian guy from the Valley here in LA, and Judo Gene LaBelle was his teacher. So if you guys will remember, Caro Parisian was the first guy to come into the UFC and straight up judo flip people to the ground, and that was like really exciting at the time because nobody was really doing judo flips at the time. And of course, he knew the jiu-jitsu chokeholds and stuff from Judo Gene LaBelle. But one day, Steven Seagal, on his set, he was talking shit to all the stuntmen, right? Because I don't know if you guys know, but not only in Hollywood, but like obviously very much in Asia, especially like in Hong Kong, stunt guys are all literally martial arts masters. Jackie Chan started off as a stunt man. All of those stunt guys are full-blown martial artists, and usually on set of any Hong Kong movie, the best martial artists are the ones getting beat, by the way, just FYI, because they're the ones that have to sell the punch, the ones that are getting beat up. And also, it looks better when a tough, intimidating, skillful looking guy gets beat by the main actor. It's more convincing. And here in Hollywood, same thing. Most of the stunt guys, especially if you're making a martial arts movies, are going to be high level martial artists. So one day, Steven Seagal comes out to these stunt guys and he's just like, man, all you guys, because he was a big shit talker. Like I said, he used to talk shit in the gang district in Tokyo. And so he's used to brawling and stuff. And he just came out one day and was just talking all this. She's like, "Oh, you guys are just, you guys are scrubs, man. All you guys ain't shit. Fuck it, I'll wipe them. I'll mop the floor with you guys. You guys aren't nothing." And so Judo Gene LaBelle, who's like twice, Steven Seagal's age, just came out and was like, "All right, let's see what's up." Just boom, takes him down, chokes him out. I think he got him in the rear naked. And just took him out, and then Steven Seagal was like, "Man, that's fucking bullshit. I'd like to see you do that again." So Judo Gene LaBelle, boom, same fucking joke. So that's the other Steven Seagal story. So he's stupid. He shouldn't have gone up against Gene LaBelle. Maybe he didn't know who he was. Sometimes, especially back then, sometimes people didn't know other guys from other disciplines, and he should have known. Gene LaBelle is a fucking living legend. I don't know if he's still alive. He might. He's got to be fucking old as fuck. Probably few and far between now. I see. Oops, shit, just jumped way ahead. Okay, here he is. What's the movie where he was on the airplane and he fell to his Executive Decision? They hooked up a F-117 with a tunnel and it broke and he flew out. Yeah, Executive Decision. Hey, fellas. He just pulled a Trevor on me. I'm wounded pup right now. What's a Trevor? Sorry, I don't know what that is. Trevor. Snuznuz. Hey. Oh, hey, Snuznuz. Accuracy costs money. Oh, yeah, I know. I mean, it's close enough. I mean, it's accurate enough to know that it's not a full quarter inch. You know, and that's good enough for me. Little science lesson, guys. Okay. So the difference, okay, so can you guys see the numbers? So the difference between precision and accuracy is this, okay? So precision relates to the ability of the machine itself to be sensitive, right? So as you can see, this has got some good sensitivity. See it jiggle and toggle back and forth between numbers, okay? Now, accuracy means that the last decimal point has to be disregarded. Therefore, the accuracy of this machine, of this gear or whatever thing, can only be to the second decimal point. Therefore, this reading here it would be 1.12. You cannot say that this is 1.116, okay? Because the final number can only be used to when you're talking about accuracy, okay? Accuracy means that the final decimal point has to be used to round up or down for the penultimate number, meaning the second to last number. Therefore, the accuracy tells us this is 1.12. Okay, so just for any YouTube channels doing measurements, that is the way it works. Now, that's what they taught me in the 7th grade, so that's what I'm telling you now. So that's the difference between accuracy versus precision. Hey, just checked your video. Good stuff. Yeah, I just saw you posted that. I'm gonna have to check that out, but I had to get onto the Knife Junkie, so I missed it. Hollywood will pay for these transgressions. Oh my god, you guys are all ganging up on me. I traded for. Oh, cool, good.
Causador de desconto.
Sorry, yeah.
Você ainda vai mandar e-mail para ele? Não, né? Você não vai mandar e-mail para ele, não.
Ela é mulher. É mulher vietnamesa, tá? That guy was a great.
Ela vem aqui causa discórdia.
Oh, you mean Carl Parisian? Yeah, he never got the recognition. He did end up near the end getting some recognition, especially once his brother came out. He never really got the recognition. I thought he was a top-notch fighter, strong as hell. I don't think he got quite the accolades and recognition he should have. He did get some, don't get me wrong. Somehow I was 2 minutes behind. That was odd. Yeah, it buffers and then you lose it. And sometimes it's just odd. It sounds like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Bruce Lee scene. I'm sorry, I haven't seen the movie yet. If you're talking about the time where Bruce Lee was filming Enter the Dragon, and they were in that big open arena area, and one of the stunt guys was talking shit. He's like, in Cantonese, he was like, Bruce, yeah. He's calling him Paper Tiger. Paper Tiger is calling him Paper Tiger. And so Bruce was a guy, again, they didn't get the memo. Bruce used to fight, I know, because I know guys in the martial arts scene, and which behind the scenes, he went up and down California challenging every martial artist. He would fight him. He'd be like, hey, let's fight. Not sparring. I'm going to fight you, master. And he went around challenging all the martial arts masters around here in California. And there was a lot back then. And he fought dudes. I can tell you inside stories about Bruce Lee because, I'm of that age where I was still learning with guys who, when they were my age, when they were younger, was around when Bruce was around. Because I was up in the Bay Area. Anyway, this guy was like, yeah, paper tiger, paper tiger. Finally, Bruce was like, all right, you come down here. A guy jumped down from the wall and Bruce knocked him out cold. And then afterwards, he was cool about it because that's the kind of guy Bruce was. Afterwards, he was like, kind of just showing him some tips and stuff like that. Like they got along afterwards. And after that, all the stuntmen respected him. They were like, okay, he's the real guy. And he's humble about it. Like he's not a dick. He wasn't like Steven Seagal, in other words. I'm one of those guys that doesn't comprehend small points of an inch. Yeah, I know. Millimeters make sense to me when dealing with tight widths. I totally agree. Especially if you did a lot of science back in the day. Hey, Murky Ocean, thanks for joining. Anyone here have a goat gun? Sorry, I don't know what a goat gun is. I mean, I know what an elephant gun is. I mean, I don't even know what caliber an elephant gun is. But...
Esse negócio aí que você tava com ele na mão, ele é só para ferir facas?
Ela era na Blade Show e...
Não, Charles, eu não estou perguntando dela, eu não quero saber dela, eu não quero nem que ela apareça aqui de novo, eu estou perguntando do equipamento. Você estava com ele na mão.
Esse equipamento é para qual muito longe alguma é.
Ah, entendeu? Tá. Mas ele é só para faca? Dá para fazer outra coisa com ele?
Para qualquer coisa. Por exemplo. Tá. So let's take a look. The PM2 is 0.46. Okay. The blade stock is... Do this with my right hand. The blade stock is 0.14. So again, that's 0.144. If it were that, sorry, can you see that? Oops. Let's try that again. Okay, look. So if it read that, you would not say it's 0.14, you would say it's 0.15. You don't say it's 0.147. You say it's 115. Okay, that's how you read scientific equipment. Last time I checked, anyway. Diego Sanchez, the thing is, look, I remember Diego Sanchez right from his introduction through the that first season of the reality show they had. Now, Diego Nightmare Sanchez, I get it. Me personally, Diego Sanchez is exactly the kind of fighter I hate because he has limited, if not relatively weak technique, but he's got endless energy, a thick-ass skull. He's just the ground and pounder. And in the style of like Matt Hughes or something, I never found those guys compelling as fighters. They won matches because they're just animals. They're just brutes. Now, don't get me wrong. You have to have at least some animal, some brute in you to win matches. But I like the guys that go in there with some finesse, with some skill. GSP, he had some skill. Well, actually, he had a lot of skill. Caro Parisian, he had skill. If you guys remember the OG Frank Mir, he was one of those heavyweights that didn't go in there just with sloppy technique. I mean, he went in there with some technique and some skills. Diego Sanchez was the exact opposite of that. He had limited to poor skills, but just monster constitution, monster cardio, monster strength. Just went in there and just would crush. He's a nightmare to fight. I get it, but I just was never impressed by that. And that was never my style either, anyway. And maybe I'm prejudiced. Those are the guys I would lose to, and I think I resent that, I resented the fact that I usually would lose to guys, the two types of guys I would lose to. I was very fast, but there was always that, like, whatever, 10% of guys that's super fast. That's like weird, scary fast, those guys would beat me. Rarely could somebody beat me on just pure skill. And then the guys that did beat me were people who had limited to none, but just had like monster strength, right? Would just crush any technique because they would just use their muscles. And they had maybe a couple of moves, and that's about it, A goat gun is a miniature model of a pew pew, but it is functional, but not shootable, of course. It's a desk toy. Was curious how they are. I'm thinking about getting one for fun. Yeah, okay. They have they have like AKs and ARs of those that are kind of more or less functioning models. Obviously, they don't. Here's what, Matt, instead of getting a goat gun, unless you're just so into guns that you just want to see the inner functioning and play around with it, consider getting a pinfire. Look into pinfires because it's an actual gun. That's it. That's all. He was talking about tight things earlier, but he doesn't like it when I do. I tread lightly. There you go. Yeah, Sanchez made for a bunch of exciting fights, as we've seen in the last few years. Not good long term. Yeah, again, I wouldn't consider his fights exciting, honestly. It might be different between a fan and a player, like, because I was never impressed by anything he did. I mean, I'm impressed by his just sheer athletic ability, but not like skill athletic. Like, again, just monster car. That's just genes. It's just genetics. He has the right combination of muscle versus ability to absorb what's that acid when we that acid that builds up in our muscles. He just happens to have the right genes for it, and that's it. And he just rides that. And he never impressed me. I never liked any of his fights and never was impressed. Hey, Jan, thanks for joining. I know what you mean. I saw Jose Aldo. Well, there you go. Jose Aldo is exactly the opposite. He brings, all that stuff, animal strength, all of that into it. He brings all that, but he brings mad skill. And Jose Aldo is the perfect example of why. Lactic acid, that's it. The first two fights are wow, but more than that, I agree. It gets old in a hurry. Gorilla pounding as well. Yeah, exactly. It just, that's why when, like, Matt Hughes and before him, who was the first ground and pounder? Was Matt Hughes? Anyway, when the ground and pound came into the game, I was kind of like, I mean, I saw it coming, don't get me wrong, because I was a wrestler in high school, so I knew these jiu-jitsu guys would never be able to hold their weight against, just good old-fashioned American wrestling. And sure enough, it didn't take very long for people to get their number. I mean, those jiu-jitsu guys ate shit for a while because they don't have a takedown game. So, they ate shit real fast because they didn't know how to do takedowns and, et cetera. They didn't really know, they didn't have a good enough grappling game. And so I saw that coming, but it was so ugly when it came. It was just like they would just crunch any, and it made MMA boring for a minute too, because jiu-jitsu just went right out the door for a little while because it was all ground and pound. If you, and what was it? Sprawl and Brawl. Then Chuck Liddell brought Sprawl and Brawl, and he really neutralized the jiu-jitsu game. That was more skillful. Again, that's when he brought in, if you can't take me down to the ground, you can't grapple me, and I'm going to punch your fucking lights out. That was actually the most exciting. That's what ended the ground and pound thing, because if you can't take me down to ground and pound me, I'm going to outbox you. And he did Kempo karate. So he didn't box. He punched from down here. Big looping punches that those karate punches, which are totally different mechanics.
Do que você está falando? De lutador de MMA?
Ah, sim, vai tudo, né?
Sim. Mas esses vale-tudos não é fake? Não é luta de mentira? Daquele
Vai
estilo
tudo. E não é
mexicano?
fake nada, é tudo real. Por que você acha isso?
Porque tem uns shows de luta livre.
Luta livre é diferente de vale tudo.
Ah, tá.
Sim, luta livre é parte de lutando de Estados Unidos. Luta livre. Mas então, América, depois México, e depois México é Brasil. É teátrico, né? Mas vale tudo é MMA. José Aldo, né?
José Aldo. O
Anderson
Homem-Aranha.
Silva, Ninja e
Anderson
Shogun
Silva.
Rua.
Popó. Popó Freitas.
Quem?
Popó Freitas, que foi
No,
lutador de
no.
boxe. Popó
Now, my
Freitas é de
friend
Salvador.
was one of my friends was one of the first black belts from Marco Ruas. If you guys remember, conhece o Marco Ruas? Carioca?
Não.
Ele é muito velho, né? Marco Ruas was
Nossa.
one of the first champions of MMA. And once again, that was, back when he brought everything. He brought boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, you name it. And my boy Zombie, yeah, exactly. Zombie, to me, he represents the Korean spirit of fighting. Kill me or I'll kill you. That's a very Korean style of fighting. I saw that monster knife you videoed today. I saw it on Knife Center a bit ago, but in more detail than that thing. Huge but awesome looking. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at your what's in the pocket today. That sniper plate is rad. Makes me grin like an idiot. Yeah, that's what I call a smile knife.
Nossa Senhora, tomara que não seja quem eu tô pensando. Amor de Deus.
Oh, you wish Brian Ortega didn't beat him like that? Yeah, I know. That was a bummer. Yeah, this was I introduced this like last year, I think. I wanted to introduce this whole thing. I still want to do it where like every day I upload one of those shorts where I call it my smile knife of the day. Like just the knife that makes you smile that day. That was kind of my whole thing. So let me do this unboxing. This is the Schrade Parang. This is in 3 CR13. So that's the big difference. This is going to be a high carbon steel. This is going to be stainless. 3 CR13 is probably not the best idea. I mean, I can understand why they would do 3 CR13 because they want it to be as tough as possible. They don't want it to chip. They don't want it to break or chip, especially because a parang is in between a chopper and a machete, right? So if you look at machete styles and the regions they come out of, your classic Latin style machete is thin, is meant for a certain kind of foliage. The parang comes out of Southeast Asia, which has a different kind of foliage. So they need much more of a chopper style machete. So that's why these parangs, I'm old enough to remember the OG. Yeah, absolutely. UFC, the first 2 or 3 were pure gold. Oh, I agree. Remember UFC, I think 4 was when they did the first Champion of Champions because Royce Gracie had one, and then Marco Ruas had one. I think the second and third or second and fourth one. And then in between somebody else won. So it was undetermined who the champion of champions were. And then so they had that tournament of champions. I think maybe it was like the 6th one or something. And so you had like Ken Shamrock, Marco Ruas, Hoist Gracie and a bunch of others went in there, and I think Marco won the first one. I don't remember.
Nossa, vontade de vomitar. Ai, eu tô com azia. Ai. Vai abrir, Oba?
And I really regret. I mean, I was just lazy back then. I should have gotten into the MMA game back then, and I didn't. That was a big mistake. I should have gotten into the game back then, and I'm just too old now. But two of my friends did, and they both had, well, and then my cousin included. So that's three guys that are in the MMA game now, and they've got gyms and fight. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, huh? I was young and dumb, I should have stuck with the game. I would have been a lot happier too, because I was always the happiest when I was fighting, And I don't know. I abandoned it for I don't know why. I got out the game, and then my cousin got me back into it when he opened his gym. It's got a decent edge. Once again, we can check what blade stock is like, and let's take a look. That doesn't seem right. 145, and that's the same as a PM2. Let's see. I have trouble believing that. Wow. What say you guys? Is it the same? It more or less looks the same to me, according to this. One, 4, 3, and it says it's identical.
Ah, mas também. O que você está tentando comparar a lâmina?
Sim.
Amor.
It doesn't look the same, but according to this, it's identical. Identical blade stock. Obviously, this has much more of a distal taper. This, stays the same thickness throughout, obviously, because that's what it is. It doesn't distal taper a bit, but I mean, it looks the same. Oh, hey, yeah. Let's see. Let me catch up on these. So good. Then the Gracie just made it all about grappling, and I lost interest. Yeah, the thing is, the Gracies actually started that to try and promote their tutorial videos on jiu-jitsu. That was the whole point of the UFC back then. And you're right. It got real boring real fast when they were just sort of fucking laying around, and they'd sit there for like 20 minutes, I'd say post Sprawl and Brawl. Well, actually, when what's his name, that kickboxer came in and started kickboxing everybody, that changed the game, made it more interesting. I meant that in a fun way, because you always made people laugh with your Clover jokes. Yeah, he's funny. I did, by which I mean I did door security at clubs in San Francisco. Plenty of mixed style fighting for me. That's gotta suck, man. Where do you get all these machetes from, and why do you buy so many machetes, and what's your favorite machete, and what's your grail machete? Okay, so I get them because it's just like what I've started collecting these days. Like I've kind of, had my fill of, I've gotten most of the type of folding knives I want. I only need a pair of 3 now. I don't really need much else. If a new button lock comes out, I'll get it, but otherwise, and I've got, lots of neck knives. I still pick up nice neck knives because I'm mostly into like fixed blades now. And as I went from fixed blades, this kind of sated my appetite for fixed blades for the time. And I got the tops made parang, which already is kind of my grant, but I got this because, I think I got it for like $20 or even less, probably. I think I got it for like $15. I mean, these things are so cheap that I'm curious to compare this with a tops, which will not be much of a comparison. I get it. It's apples and oranges. But my question is, at, let's say it was $20 and the parang is the tops parang was originally like 160, then went down to like 140. I got it on sale for 110. But is that 5 times better than this? I doubt it's going to be, which is what to me is curious about this industry, as well as basically every single other industry on the planet, is once you hit a certain level, that which you gain per price plateaus off, so that eventually it reaches the point where you have a diminishing rate of return in terms of what your dollars gets you, which is why I haven't really entered the custom realm yet. How much more do you get from a $450 custom? You certainly get more. I get it. But do you get 100 times more? What is the difference between a Civivi frame lock and a custom made frame lock? Is it going to be 50 times better? It's going to be a lot better, but I doubt it's going to be 50 times better. Once again, Schrade, I actually like their sheaths because it allows you to distribute the weight really well. So it's got the leg, the leg tie thing, and it's got this shoulder strap so that it'd be a lot more. I mean, this is a lot to carry around. So seems to work.
Legal. Gostei dessa manchete.
Gosta? Essa
Sim.
tipo de machete é de Ásia, né? É mais do que um machado, né? É entre machado ou machete, entendeu?
Entendi.
The blade shape sure looks like a Golic to me. Really? Maybe I need a machete refresher class. It's been a while. I don't have a single Golic yet, so I couldn't tell you either. I can show you. I have several parangs, so maybe I should do that real quick. So, and I have some bolos too. So hold on.
Quem que tá ligando tanto?
Nada.
Charles, sério.
If you were to design a machete, how would it look and what materials? Hold on a second. I wouldn't. I would want to design. If anything, I would want to design a folder. It would be a button lock and flipper. And it would have a hole, not a stud. It would be micarta, ball bearing. Right, left, tip up carry only. I wouldn't bother with any tip down because your tip down is for losers. Just kidding. So there's a lot I would do with that. But as far as the machete, no, I don't have any particular, because as far as I can tell, between a bolo, a parang, Latin style machete, and like a cleaver or whatever, I mean, that covers your bases. I don't do enough machete work to have enough of an opinion where I'd be like, oh, this is what I want out of that. I think with fixed blades, there's less of a variance insofar as I said, with folding knives, there's so much, you know. I wouldn't want a compression lock. I'd want a button lock. I'd want a hole, not thumb studs. I'd want micarta, not G10, etc. You know, those are realistic preferences that have its importance or whatever, its relevance. But as far as machetes, you know, you're gonna alter the you're gonna alter the thickness, you're gonna alter the shape. But there are already so many out there. You got your kukris too. So I don't know that I can improve on any of those. You know, again, then you just choose, oh, I want 1095. Okay, fine, do 1095. Oh, I want a more stainless. Fine, do 154 cm. You know, they're all already out there. I think it's an illusion due to the taper of the PM2. Yeah, I was assuming as much. Yeah, I think so. That's why I kept looking. That's why I looked like 3 or 4 times, because I was like, gosh, you know, is it really the same? But yeah, right at the base of this, making chili rat. Yummy. You got to share your chili recipe with us. Apples and pineapples. Okay, pineapples, fine. What the heck is pap? PPAP? Oh, pineapples and okay. Anyway. Oh, I agree. It is. It that's why I got it. I mean, you know, what I pay for these things is what I pay for a single meal going out with friends. And so I say, screw you to my friends, and I get another Cleaver machete, right? Wasn't this wide, I would come on by. I cooked some trout and fried rice with cherubs tonight. With cherubs? I wonder if part of this question is, what do you like about liking things 50 times better? Yeah. Well, that honestly, I mean it as a rhetorical or open-ended question. I mean, you know, for a lot of people, it is that much. Like that little tiny bit more liquidy feeling, that little tiny bit more solid feeling is worth $150 more. You know, I have this Adam Purvis Zerks right here. This is the most expensive sort of high-end blade that I have, right? The action is astounding. There's something about it that's so solid and perfect, etc. And the milling on this is so delicate. It's you know, it's like a work of art. It's extremely smooth, yet textured enough to give you some realistic grip. At the same time, it's also very aesthetic. You know, I mean, this is an incredible knife, right? But again, it's a frame lock. I don't care for frame locks, right? And you know, this was number. This is number, I think, 40. Number 43 of 240, right? It's CPM 20 CV, right? Now, it's hard for me to describe how much better the smoothness of this action is than any other knife I have, but it's very incremental. I admit it is better. It's noticeably better, but you know, I enjoy that. It doesn't have that amazing smooth buttery feeling, but I get way more enjoyment out of this knife than I do this. Right? It's got, for one thing, it's got micarta. Love micarta, right? It's got a button lock. I much prefer button locks, right? I love Warncliffes. I added the thumb stud, right? So it's more flickable. So, you know, this would have been, I think, 300 some dollars. Yeah, I agree. I love the kook. That's when I was a kid, I first found out about the kukri. And from then on, I just assumed that the kukri was the best thing ever. I haven't had a chunk of fish in too long. Do you mean? Stuff for a minute. I get you. Fresh corn, carrots, bacon, and kale are okay. Fresh corn, carrots, bacon, and kale are added to the 4 kinds of pepper, beef, 4 kinds of beans and onions with smoked paprika and spice mix. Okay, that's a fantastic recipe. I really appreciate that. Corn, carrots, bacon, and kale. Okay, okay. And 4 kinds of beans. Okay. Onions. Okay. I know if you get some seafood, the clean protein is worth it. Yeah. If you can find no mercury-free fish these days, it's like wild caught salmon. Also turmeric in there, right? And chipotle, rotel with chili ready, crushed tomatoes and sauce. Okay. I think when it comes to the 5 times better conversation, if you take it down to a butter knife, the plastic butter knife will spread butter. A Denny's butter knife will too. Opinel has a wood handle. Yeah, I kind of get where you're going with that. Actually, I don't have an Opinel yet, and I realize I need one because, for the price, and it's very slicey because it's very thin. Um, they use a Sandvik. You can't beat it for the price. It's a true user. And that circular handle is probably one of the most OG ergonomic handles out there in the game. So I realize I do need one. I've just been kind of stalling because it's not been a huge rush for me. And Opinel, I think it's Opini. But as I understand it in France, that's like a father-son thing. Like, first knife you get, they give you one of those. Thank you. You win. I'm selling a hinder and taking a flight to your plate. So weird. You really have hinders? Going up from a simple thing, you can still see the differences. Yeah. Man, I wouldn't be able to tell you if I could tell what a real expensive knife. For me, above 200 feels like. I have a bunch of Tucsons and a few Wiis. They feel about the same to me. Yeah, well, Wiis are 200 plus. I mean, I don't think there's... I have the Banter, which is 100. That's the cheapest Wii knife I know of. Everything Wii is 200. I want the Blockow. I got to flip the I think they call it the Helix. That thing, I would pay. I would pay for the Blockow. It's 200 some. I would pay for the Helix, which is 200 some. But you're getting something for that. You're getting a very different kind of locking mechanism. So just to try that, I would do it. The only $400+ knife thus far I would consider paying for is the 80-20 because you're getting something very different for that. So I could see that. I've never felt the urge to get a Riot or anything like that. Can someone tell me if it's worth the upgrade? I flipped a bunch of Riots, and if you're into titanium knives, I can't think of a bit. I would say a Riot is better than this, in my opinion. There's something slightly more perfect about a Riot. When you flip it, it's got that perfect pitch, that ting, and then when you close it, the detent is like a drop of water. A drop of water has that perfect boom. That's what a Riot is, like a musical instrument. To me, a Riot is like, it's just right down to the last. They really go out of their way to machine stuff like crazy. Nothing more ergonomic to this than a tree branch. I agree. That's why they've been making that knife for over 100 years. They haven't bothered to fucking change it because you don't need to. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I just ordered a Riot today, Winchester. Happy to do it and considering myself lucky to get in on the order. Could you tell us which Riot it was? Because the Riot I want to get is the XO. That thing is addictively fidgety. I cannot believe that thing. Once I got it, I just kept flipping and I couldn't stop. The Necronaut. When my Necronaut comes in, I'll tell you how it feels. The Necronaut is not the XO, right? I'm trying to remember what the Necronaut was. Thanks. It's the same thing? The Necronaut is the XO? Sorry.
Essa cara tá ótima. Cara de deboche.
Yeah. Crane's Cutlery has the double-edged. That's the one I would get too. No, Necronaut is. Oh, that's right. Okay. Necronaut's arcane designs made by Riot. Okay, I remember. I think you mentioned that last time I was looking it up, and I remember thinking there was something I loved about it. So the pot is half full, but it's a 10 quart. Jeez. That's a lot of chili. Let me just look up the arcane design. Okay, I didn't look that up. I was wrong. Is it a fixed blade? Oh, it's this Kickstarter. Is it still on Kickstarter? Doggone it. Is that a fixed blade? That thing looks like a beast. No, it's a folder. Okay. Yeah, it's got that nasty looking Tonto. Yeah, thing looks sweet. But again, I'm just Snuz got an XO. He did. Oh, so you do have the non double edge version? Where did you get it? Did you get it at? Where did you get it? Did you get it at Blade Show? Were you there? I'm sorry. Can't keep track of everyone. Backtracking. Yeah. If I didn't live as far from seafood as an American, I'd eat more than I do. I see. I need the dagger version now. Seriously bad. Need that DE. Yeah. So you already have the regular one? Because the double edge is the one I would have gotten. For sure. For sure. I'll contact Mr. 41 Quick Sale. I'll be there. Not sure who that is. Dude, tell me how you like it when you get it. Then sell to you for 20 bucks in the pocket. Yeah, I know, right? Island boy. You're an island boy from Vancouver Island? Wait. There's a lot of fish up there, like tons of fish. I'm not sure what you mean.
Kate do. Ai. Amor, eu fui lá no banheiro vomitar. Falta de azia. Ai. Queimando ainda. A faquinha tá tão escondida. I am identified. To write to be. Sorry. Esqueci de fechar o microfone.
Okay, let's see. Not just about anywhere, it's haunting me. I would love it with green micarta. Yeah, did you check out Crane's Cutlery? You can pre-order it there. I think the EXO is just going to be one of those knives that always sells out as soon as it's dropped. Yeah, pre-order it at Crane's. I don't know. Jigsaw, was that you on TikTok at the end of EDCC stream this week? That looks cool. I don't know if I'd rather have 2 to 4 knives versus just one if they aren't leaps and bounds better than my 2 Sons Wees. I guess I'll have to bite the bullet one day. That's kind of my feeling, Winchester. I flipped the Hinderer XM Slim which people love. And yeah, it was buttery. It was dope. It was well made, but I could buy 4 $100 knives for that. I'd much rather do that. I just don't yet. I just don't yet see the huge return on that. I think this year, absolutely. Next year, I think we'll have exos all over the place. Yeah, I hope. I have one Tucson and I need more. I see people with way more expensive knives and they usually come back to the Tucson. Oh, really? Well, Tucson makes they have incredible value. I think they have premium level, you know, makesmanship. I don't know what they're made as well as any premium, but at a way better price point. Oh, adopted by the government counter when I was a kid. One man, all alone. I have a certain set of skills they all liked. Is that a line from I have a certain set of skills. I'll hunt you down. And so you're from the Caribbean, from Trinidad, Dominique. Wait, let's see, Canada. So the West Indies, right? So let's see. There's Trinidad, there's Guadeloupe, there's St. Kitts, obviously Jamaica. Yeah, I mean, again, the only custom I'd want to mess with is the shark lock just to get it. I don't know tick and talk. Interesting. Begs a few questions. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe I'll wait a year before I get the XO. Taken. Yeah, you were talking about Taken. Okay. Yes, I am. Okay. My next order is going to be SMKW. I'm going to spread my wings with some novelty knives. Cool, do it. Trinidad. So you're a Trini. Trini in the house.
Trini in the house.
Do you listen to Soca? There's going to be a Soca festival here next weekend. Winchester, I got a honey badger in today. Very budget knife and has excellent action. It is an awesome knife. So the QSB Penguin, the new QSB Parrot, which they upgraded to micarta and D2 and raised it by a whole $6. So $26 for D2, great action, and micarta. For $26. And the Penguin is phenomenal, along with the honey badger. $30, phenomenal. How much better can you get than those two knives for $450? Do you see what I'm saying? That's kind of my point. In today's knife world, with budget knives that are shocking, I mean, what would you change or improve with either a Penguin or a honey badger? It's like, oh, well, improve the steel. Fine. Mixed race kid, full Canadian, though. Right. Well, full Canadian citizen, yeah. I just checked Cranes. They have exos in stock right this minute. No DEs, though. Okay, well, good for me. I am a Trini. If I ever get a hinder, the first one will probably be the slip joint. Oh, really? Again, for a slip joint, I just wouldn't pay that much for one. Because with a slip joint, why would you need a premium steel on a slip joint? You can't hard use a slip joint just because of the pure technology of it. I kind of don't see it, except for like a showpiece. Like Riyadh has some slip joints that look amazing. But for that matter, if you want a slip joint that looks nice, get the Civivi. I think it's the Appellation, which is a slip joint, which is gorgeous. But it's not going to cost you $400, in my opinion. Sorry. Wait. Let me go back. Okay. I was still taken for my skills. No joke. Really? What skills? You were 1. What skills? You said you were 1 years old? I'm kind of confused. What skills? Okay. I got a couple of the budget dam designs, and those are great. $100 for both. I'm trying to check out a petrified fish beluga, yeah, to see what's up. I'm waiting for White Mountain. Oh, okay. Yeah, the beluga whale is where if I'm not mistaken. Oh, never mind. shockingly good budget. It's a great time for knives. I mean, when in history is kind of variety even dreamed of being possible? Yeah, no, we're at the beginning of the golden age of pocket knives. You know, you think about it. 20 years ago, we didn't have this. Yeah, like Gerber. You know, 20 years ago, I I EDC'd a Gerber, and I fucking loved it. You know, I think all of the metaphors for knife addiction are apropos because I think we really still do chase that first high. You know, I think I have this many knives because I still want to feel that comfort and satisfaction I had from that clearance sale rack $5 Gerber that I had. I mean, the centering was way off. Eventually started rubbing up against the scale. It might have even been partially serrated. I don't remember. It was
Luta.
just, I mean, by today, by what I know today and by today's standards, I mean, I wouldn't even pay $5 for it, probably. I mean, it was a shit knife, but I loved it, because it was my first modern folder. And before that, it was always like Swiss Army knives, Rambo knives, whatever. And when I started getting back into, modern folders, I got that Gerber and I just loved it, And I think I'm still chasing that first high, that feeling of like, like to us today, the thought of just carrying the same knife every day is abhorrent. But back then, I got so much more satisfaction out of it. You make a good point, but my thoughts were it's a cheaper way to experience when you are right though. Sorry, I missed the thread. Make a good point, but that's where it's a cheaper way to experience. You mean like Tucson is a good way to experience a premium? I missed the thread. I apologize. So you were asking about the prey. Oh God, I'm getting old. So this is the cheapest parang I have. I paid $8. This is the UST brand. So this is the $8 parang. Pretty sure it's a stainless steel. Shittiest knife ever made in the history of knives. But, for $8, could do worse for $8. This is Elkridge, which I'm pretty sure is Frost Cutlery's fixed blade brand, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just assume. So there's this parang. It's got that thing up here. I think that's so you can put a stick in it and use it as a draw knife. I think. Stainless steel. Custom design. What the hell does that mean, custom design? Those are like those empty words that people just put on there, like MTech, USA designed, like USA design. What does that even mean? Just so custom designed. Whatever. Anyway. Yeah, and then right, and then so this is this is the Schrade parang I just picked up. Maybe I should compare all these. And I think I have a marbles parang as well, but I don't actually know where it is right now. It should be in that box up there, but it seems not to be. I may have other parangs as well. This is not the definitive one.
Olha.
So let's
Olha
see
o tamanho.
Can't. Oh, here we go. Maybe like this. Here we go.
Nossa. Tem quantos centímetros, amor?
Fala de novo, ok?
Quantos centímetros tem, mas em média, essas facas? 15 centímetros? 30
centímetros?
É.
Isso.
É.
Não sei, não tenho centímetros. Desculpa. So it's 13 inches, so 1 foot. How many centimeters is 1 foot?
Tem que converter. Piratas mortos. É o pirata.
A 33 centímetros.
Oh, centímetros. Uau.
Centímetros.
Enorme.
Okay. I can't believe you just said pirate. I'm going to fuck you guys up now. Okay. And then in terms of what my grail is, I already have it. This is the tops parang. Okay. My Carta handles, you know? So.
Ei, Paulinho. Paulinho chama você de Carlinhos.
Oi, Paulinho.
Carlinhos. Ai.
Yes, that's okay. Sorry.
Hey, Frey.
Coconut chopper, indeed. And I think that's the point. And I think it's somewhere in between a machete, a cutlass, a chopper, a cleaver. It's just right in between all that. Okay, hold on. Let me catch up. Flip. What? Flip. This is the coolest thing in the world. I understand what you mean for sure. I get annoyed when the budget knives have wax centering or scratches from the factory. My QSBs have come that way. What year is this? That's shocking. Yeah, no, my QSBs have come out phenomenal. I love my QSBs. They've come out perfect. So, yeah, you might have gotten a shit batch. I went straight up sack until it was Leatherman time in the early 90s. And then a little later, the wave came out, and I didn't need anything else until, yeah. I didn't go the Leatherman route just because they were just really expensive for me. So I always bought like cheap knockoff type Leatherman knockoffs, you know, like Coast. Remember Coast? They're still around, believe it or not. You know, I had just cheap knockoff Leatherman types, and I went that route during the 90s. You're right, I forgot about that. And that had a knife on it, so I kind of just went with that for a while. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Now that you say that, Oldsmobile Cutlass, that's it. Like I said, best laugh all night. I'm also a hardcore car guy. I know the set. Hey, that Cutlass. Hey, remember in the hood? Everybody had the Cutlass.
Bom dia, Paulinho. Bom dia. Bom dia.
You know, it had a fantastic engine. People forget that sucker had some balls. Okay, so let me put all these back. Wow, this thing is light. I mean, if this thing actually chops...
É mole essa lâmina, coisa estranha.
Isso é tipo de Ásia, de Ásia do Sul, entendeu? A tecnologia deles, entendeu? Okay. I'm gonna fuck you guys up now.
Oh my God. Aqui são 2h30, 2 horas da manhã. 2
pra
AM.
você agora?
É.
Já?
Aí, sim, aqui já é sexta-feira. 3 days.
So, you mentioned pirate sword and cutlass. I'm killing all of you guys tonight. Tonight, you all die.
Nossa, morrendo aqui. Nossa, eu dormi tanto hoje. Eu tô com sono. Yes, Friday. É Friday? Friday é sexta-feira, né? Não, Friday não.
O quê?
Como é que pronuncia sexta? Sexta-feira. É
Friday.
Friday.
Okay, yes,
Friday.
I don't think I would trust $8, but it's cool, and I'd flip burgers with
Ai,
it. Yeah, I don't think it would cut very much, and yeah, it might break. So you could use bamboo tree line fights. Cool. Actually, by the way, guys, that's gonna be way too much. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon comes from a very famous kung fu novel.
Why, Carlinhos?
Series of kung fu novels. You guys gotta get into that. If you like that movie, get into the real story. It's
Sexta-feira.
there's 5 elements in that thing,
Lembre.
and each of the main characters represent these 5 different elements that have to be unlocked. And that sword in that movie is actually shorter. It's what's called the sword breaking sword. They used to have this sword back then that was almost like a machete, like a chunky blade and thick stock that was meant to break other swords. So the Green Destiny was actually a breaking sword. And just the ending of the story, I'll give it away, is there's this vault that needs to be opened. And in fact, you know, the dead boyfriend of his love interest, it actually turns out he's not dead. He faked his death, and he discovered the location of the secret vault with the hidden treasure, and it was the Green Destiny that was the key for it. I mean, it's fucking dope stuff. You guys got to check out these kung fu novels. They're so fucking cool. Go see Jet Li's versions of these movies because they're closer to the actual storyline.
Não, você tá rangendo os dentes.
Yeah, I mean,
tá bravo?
But then again, it's much like, I mean, it's much like the wobbly blade on this parang is much like a thin Latin style machete. You would chop with that. Now you'd be limited in what you'd want to chop with it, but you know, my Colombian and Brazilian Latin style cleavers were
My
$10.
English too.
You know, so
My English horrible.
horrível.
I don't know speaking English. Me hablo español. Me gusta hablar español.
Yeah, you guys are gonna die. Okay. Okay. Hey. Hey, 1 minute. Okay. Thanks for chiming in. Now, who's the one taking the live into the gutter with my potty mouth? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's you. Okay. I'll tell you why I was gonna kill you guys. Here, this is what I have to kill you guys with. Where the fuck did I put him? Okay. So you mentioned pirate. You like say cutlass?
Oh,
that's the Marvel's cutlass. $20. I mean, that's fun. That's a lot of fun for $20. You know, it feels pretty good in hand. It's just some lame wood handle, and I don't know. Why not? I think it's like some sort of a high carbon steel, I think. But that's your little pirate cutlass. And then the other cutlass I have, if you guys remember, I unboxed this last time. So you've got your K-bar. I think they call this the combat kukri, I think. So you've got your combat kukri, and then you've got what they call their cutlass kukri with the straight spine. So you can see they're the exact same length, right? They're more or less the exact same length, except this one has a straight spine and this one has that classic kukri crooked spine. I'm curious what that would give you. I mean, this would give you a lot more chopping power, but this is going to give you some stabbing ability, which the kukri still has because it is still center line. So not exactly sure what benefit that maybe it'd be better at skinning. Maybe the cant of this blade is not quite as good for skinning. Not sure. I'd be curious to find out anyway. So there, I finished killing you guys. I actually like K-Bar's hybrid type sheaths where they have the leather, the shitty leather on the back. It's like bonded leather, genuine leather, which is not barely real leather, and then the nylon front. I kind of like it. I feel like they're really practical and probably fairly durable.
Yeah.
And then I have this
Eggs
marbles.
in a house.
This is what they call the camp cleaver.
Oh.
I feel like this is kind of parangish.
Essa é de qual país? É mais de origem de qual país esse perfil de manchete?
Isso é na machete, é cleaver. Como se diz cleaver? Um momento.
Cleaver.
Cutelo.
Martelo?
Cutelo.
Machado.
Cutelo.
Hã?
Cortador, cutelo, machadinha, cutelo, faca de cutelo. Entendeu?
Entendi, mas eu nunca ouvi falar de faca com esse nome aqui no Brasil. Primeira vez. Cutelo. Entendeu? Cutelo.
Cutelo. Here's another kukri. This costed what? $12, $15? I have no idea. It's probably made in Pakistan. It's got no marks on it. It's just a sort of no-name blade. But you know, it's a classic kukri with that weird notch. I think that notch has religious significance. It's got some sort of like, I don't know, ironwood or whatever, paca wood or something. Maybe just it's some sort of stabilized wood with brass here. With this, this bonded leather, this fake leather thing. Who knows if it has a decent heat treat? I don't know, but it was dirt cheap. Zero retention. It's basically meant to be held in by gravity. You wear it on your belt, and it's just meant to be held in by gravity. Apparently, I don't think they thought much about it one way or the other. So those are my parangs. And then lastly, I have I thought I put it over here. Okay, apparently I didn't. Right here. And then I have this. This is the Bolo. It's the Marbles Bolo. So it's got that sharpened edge all the way around, which seems like, might be very practical. I haven't put any of these to the test yet. I'd be curious to see.
Tá, e isso daí agora é manchete, né?
E sim.
E ela de que país que é? A origem dela?
É Ásia também.
Ásia. Ah, ok.
Yeah, this doesn't have very good retention either. It's sort of odd. And then I could unbox this. This is the Gerber version of the Bolo. So, but it doesn't have the sharpened top there. So that's kind of what I was curious about. Weight forward design improves chopping. This is called the Gator Bolo. They're calling it a machete. Full tang, corrosion resistance, Gator grip. And I believe this is they're calling it carbon steel. So curious what they mean by carbon steel. I haven't opened this yet. I'll get around to it. I could do it right now. How long has it been? Oh God, it's already been an hour and a half. That would be awesome. Let me grab my burger sword. Okay, you gonna chop your burger up with it? Is this Hollywood from the Caribbean? Oh yeah, with my pirate sword, right?
Caribbean. Hollywood from the Caribbean.
There's a lot of comments. Sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna have to really catch up here. I'm way behind. Goodness. Okay. Está muito mais no oeste. Uh-oh, I think I'm freezing. Am I freezing?
Ah, é porque o oeste fica mais pra cá, é verdade.
Why you for kill all the nice uses? What up? Friday, sexta-feira, vendredi. Ok, sexta-feira, sim.
Eu corrigi ele.
Sorry, my Portuguese is terrific.
É porque os dois é português. Português de Portugal.
Which movie?
With the movie.
I forgot which movie I was talking about. Maybe Hero? Oh, no, Hero, not at all. Hero is purely is meant to be historical, is not based on a novel. The movie, look up, for example, Kung Fu. They call it here Kung Fu Master, which I wish that that's the dubbed version. But Kung Fu Master, which what was the original? Oh wait, but he has two movies that are now called Kung Fu Master. Let me try to look it up. Damn it. How do I do this? Bloody hell. Oh yeah, Kung Fu Cult Master. There it is. You want to look up Kung Fu Cult Master. Let's see. I'm trying to think what the subtitled version. Yeah, it's based on the Heaven Sword Dragon Saber. God, that's an awesome one. I mean, it's definitely way over the top. I mean, it's very B movie-ish. Also called Evil Cult and Lord of Wu Tang. It's also called Kung Fu Master, but look up Kung Fu Cult Master. And then they never ended up making the damn sequel to it, which is just annoying. Otherwise, you can see the old 70s versions of the movies called the Legend of the Condor Heroes and the Return of the Condor Heroes, which was also released as the Brave Archer series with the late Alexander Fouchon in the 70s. Yeah, I mean, for $20, that's a lot of fun for $20. Almost a Jackie Chan. It's too much fun for. Yeah, well, you said it. It's too much fun for $20. You should put a piratey tassel on the handle. Oh, okay, good idea. Thanks, I will. Top one has scoliosis. Yeah, I know.
Escoliose.
All these knives are huge. I have one big under the. I have an under the basket Tupperware thing, and I put all of these long ones in there. And it's got wheels. Fifth pocket knives. Hey, Eggs and Ham, thanks for joining us. I was concerned you were going to pull out a prop blunderbuss. No thanks. A blunderbuss will rip your shoulder out of its. I smell breakfast. Yes, you do. Eggs and Ham is in the house. Make a life chopping some coconuts with those you will sell. Oh,
You
I'm not going to sell coconuts on the street corner. The Camp Cleaver really is in its own category of what the hell is that? It's a mix of so much. Yeah. I think that's why they decided to just call it a Camp Cleaver. I think they just took a bunch of different things and sort of put it into what am I chopped liver? Oh my gosh. Machadinha, mas I'm back. Hey, doing your video game Twitch streaming? The handle looks nice. Oh no, what's going on here? Eggs, Wegs, I'd smash them and then oh God. Those kukris cheap made very dangerous for the user. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I definitely didn't get this. I mean, because I probably wouldn't try and chop anything with it because I'd be afraid to break because some of these Pakistan knives are notorious for just like not having any heat treat at all. So I got it purely for the look. I mean, it looks beautiful. That's the thing about Pakistan that I'm so torn about. It's A, ridiculously affordable. B, they look pretty. They're pretty nice to look at. It's not the fit and finish is not there, but it looks like a knife. How about that? For $12, it looks like a knife. That's good enough for me. I think my Hogue Mini RSK came with a stripped pocket clip screw scale hole because my clip almost fell off at work and I went, it just kept spinning. I have only one knife that's doing that, and it's my very first micarta knife, which was I wanted to get the cheapest micarta knife on Blade HQ, and it was the Browning Wihongi folder, partially serrated, very thin blade stock. And it has that problem where it just spins. Eita barulho.
Ah, tá, desculpa.
Exactly. Backfiring knives are no fun. Just have it break off and spin back into your face. I'm currently in the process of learning French. Oh, cool. Well, the French did colonize Vietnam. I'm sorry to say it's terrible, but yeah. I love how we're just sitting here watching Hollywood pull out an endless supply of machetes. Hey, holy crap, eggs. That won't fucking do. Okay. Also, the lack of original Loctite didn't help anything either. Yeah, maybe that's what is that what does it? What languages are you two sweeties speaking? Portuguese. Brazilian Portuguese, not European Portuguese. I can't understand when Portuguese people speak Portuguese. I'm just like, the fuck are they saying? Like, language is that? It's not the easiest language to learn. No, it's not. It's one of the harder ones. Some Portuguese. Would you have handled the Fisker's machete axe? Have you handled? No, but you know what? Honestly, I kind of want to get it again for the curiosity factor because I wonder how useful it might be. It looks actually pretty useful, kind of 2-in-1, sort of chop and hack at the same time. I'm definitely interested. I probably will eventually get it. I guess I am chopped liver. Why are bug timing me? Oh my god. Why are you big timing me, Winchester? All you do is go around to people's live stream, talk about, oh, I'm being big timed. Everybody's big time for you, bro. I'm just kidding. I haven't seen you type yet. Sheesh. That one my Portuguese girlfriend left me.
Como é que é?
Paulinho fala, a namorada dele portuguesa, ele saiu. Talvez aí por causa disso. At least I can speak a bit of Portuguese, but none of you can speak French. I speak a little, not much.
Acho chique francês. Parmalé français. Oui, chérie.
Vous coucher avec moi ce soir.
Ce soir.
I'm half Spanish.
Bonjour, mon amour.
Because of the adoption thing. Oh, I see.
É super diferente da Europa. Super.
I only speak 2 languages, English and bad English. George Bernard Shaw said that England and America are 2 societies separated by the same language. Peut-être que nous ne voulons tout simplement pas parler français. The best Kung Fu movie of all time is Kung Fu Hustle. Matt, here's the thing. Kung Fu Hustle, if you watch that film, it is chock-a-block full of references to dozens of other Kung Fu movies. In fact, he makes a reference to the Condor Heroes trilogy. Remember the main villain does Toad style? Toad style comes from the Condor Heroes. Okay, so in the Condor Heroes, the 2 lovers get together, and one of their masters is the Venom Master, the Toad. He does like this Venom Kung Fu. And then later on, their son, in the Return of the Condor Heroes, meets him again and learns this invincible Toad style. So that Toad style only comes from that novel. So that movie, Kung Fu Hustle, has so many references. The Axe Gang comes from this movie called The Duel with from the 70s. I could go on and on. I should do a video on that movie. That movie, he made that movie as a love song to Kung Fu movies. Stephen Chow truly shows that he is a connoisseur of Kung Fu films. Go ahead on YouTube. There's a couple of good videos that break it down. I don't think they break down everything, but they really show how deeply informed every frame of that movie is brimming over with love of Kung Fu movies. And for people who grew up on Kung Fu movies like me, who've seen thousands of Kung Fu movies, it was just like overwhelming. As a matter of fact, remember the guy that plays the gay tailor? Believe it or not, he lives in Emeryville up in Oakland. And he has He has a business. I met him, and his business card is like a double layer fold over business card that has his entire filmography on it. And he teaches Hungar style kung fu. Remember what I was saying about these stuntmen? These guys are actual martial artists. If you look at most of your favorite kung fu actors from the 70s, most of them, when they retired from film, opened a kung fu studio. A lot of them you can go learn from. Speak American, I understand hillbilly, can't speak it all. That's funny. It's my mother tongue. I learned French at school and after English, a little German, living in Spain 2 years where I learned Spanish. Wow, that's pretty good. Ce n'est pas vraiment une langue très utile sur YouTube. Yeah, no kidding. Okay. I'm not exactly sure what I did to you for my last visit to be unpleasant. Oops. I used Google Translate. I'm the only person in here who speaks Viet. Okay. Cheater. Oh, I know. Google Translate makes us all geniuses. That's damn cool, my friend. I super respect you for that, sir. I know, right? It's a lot of languages. I've never seen them. They don't make many martial arts movies anymore. No, I know. Besides the Raid 1 and 2, not much has hit big, and that's not even a martial arts movie. Right. Well, I mean, the Raid, by the way, the Raid is based on a Japanese anime. Manga. First, it was a manga. I don't remember if they made an anime. In the 80s. And it's really I love it.
Never understand.
Oh my gosh. Talk about cheating. See, you even without having told us, then we'd have figured out you using Google Translate. By the way, guys, another little tidbit trivia. Vietnamese is the only Asian language written with the Latin alphabet. And I understand also Italian, can read it, but I don't speak any. Cool. Wow, that's really awesome. Okay, I haven't seen Kung Fu Hustle, not them. Okay. Oh, geez, here we go. Bunch of Vietnamese here. And Eggs, Wags, Clockwork Orange reference. Oh, Eggs, Wags. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I read the book, by the way, which ruined the movie for me. See the movie first before you read the book. They're made for decoration only, I hope. Yeah, they might be. They might be purely ceremonial. The only issue is I can't translate what you guys type on mobile. I'd have to go back to PC for that. Okay. Kung Fu is amazing. It's a comedy, but it has awesome action scenes, and the twin assassins are awesome. Yeah, and if you look at, remember at the end when he comes dressed in the black pants and the white shirt? I believe that's a direct reference to Bruce Lee because that's his outfit that he wore in Enter the Dragon. And if I'm not mistaken, the very first sequence is move for move from that Bruce Lee movie. I'm pretty sure. I haven't done a comparison. It's on Netflix sometimes. Yeah. The look is pretty good for a wall piece, Kukri, to talk about. The luscious feel of the 100% real pleather sheath is something entirely different, though. It's actually not pleather. It's that cheap bonded leather where they take leather pieces and they glue it together. So it is a real leather sheath. Fuck.
Oxi.
Mas é problemas de computador, sabe?
Ah, tá. Eu pensei que era outra coisa.
Não, é por causa. Okay, you're not going to sell coconuts on the corner, but you're going to cut things like no one else. Or let's start see the blades in action. So if Mary is Portuguese, she likes coconuts. Oh, coconut. Oh, she's Brazilian, you mean? Yeah. And yes, they do like coconuts. They got tons of them. Let's all speak different languages while I was typing Vietnamese. Haha, we make jokes about it all the time. It's all good. Oh, really? It's slightly off eggs and M because Google doesn't do a good job of translation. Yeah. By the way, guys, there is a trick to using Google Translate. When you use Google Translate, use as specific a vocabulary as you can and be really clear. Avoid kind of casual ways of speaking that we use in our language and really spell things out. That helps Google Translate considerably. Well, I figured it would be kind of broken into pieces. Yeah, that's the trick to using Google Translate is say things in a super specific way that doesn't have multiple uses, like where you use a very generalized term that has multiple meanings. Try to use that very specialized vocabulary that only has more or less one meaning. Okay, here's the thing, Paulo. Brazilian Portuguese. Here's my thing. This is my theory. I believe Brazilian Portuguese is much more different from European Portuguese than American Portuguese is from British English, because Americans and Brits understand each other perfectly fine. For Americans, sometimes we have a bit of a learning curve when we first get over there. You got to get used to the accent, but it takes no time at all. Whereas Brazilian Portuguese and European Portuguese, just it seems a lot more different. But maybe not. Damn, how you been savage? She think you know a fella. I know. Hey, bro, you can dish it up, but you can't take it, man. American English is different than European English. As Canadian French is for European French. Yeah. Okay, exactly. Once again, Canadian French is way more different than European French. I mean, Canadian French is so tainted with English. It's almost a different language. That's because we don't want to speak French in French or something like that. Yeah.
Falar nisso, vamos assistir hoje. The Kung Fu. Wow.
I did not know that. Okay, I don't know what you didn't know. Sorry. I'm just so far behind on these comments. Get the 34-inch one. The spine is notched for breaking down dead branches. The whole edge all the way around the axe head is sharp, and the hook bill means business. Okay, so you mean for the 34-inch Fisker's hatchet machete. Okay, thank you for that. Yes, do a video on Kung Fu Hustle. No, I'd have to do homework and research it. No, that's just too much trouble. Sorry. Tribute. Yes, that was the word. Tribute. Thank you. For the record, it's in Casey's lives where I talk about being big timing and everywhere. It's pervy jokes. That's kind of true. Yeah, you're right. Place Mary in the corner. Let her go. French is prettier than my jokes. Okay. You're absolutely right. Sorry about that. I can't translate what I said. Super difficulty in my English. Oh, and it's hand and a half, so it's the bastard machete axe. Is that what it's called? Or you're just saying if you were to give it a name? Sorry, I'm having trouble speaking. I pinched nerve in my back, and at times it just cuts off my throat. I'm just in a lot of pain. My cell phone, okay. Some of the newer manga make reference to the raid. Oh, really? Okay, but because, the raid, like I said, originally was a manga from the 80s, I think. Not manga, anime. Manga is comics, anime is cartoon. Right. No, I think the raid started off as a manga, and I think they might have made an anime. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Deixa a gente preguiçoso.
Oh,
Amor, amanhã eu vou fazer teste de Covid. Tinha até esquecido.
De novo? Você recebeu ou você...
Ainda. É o do cotonete no nariz.
Hey, Brad. Good to see you, buddy. How are those house payments going? Just kidding.
Eu ainda não fiz teste de Covid.
Yeah, he's a huge... I mean, he's a huge fan of Bruce Lee, but then again, who's not? But then again, who in Hong Kong cinema isn't? You know, so but he truly is in that the love and care with which he paid homage is it really shows beyond fandom. Like he really was very careful about it. You have 30 hinders, yet your name states 41. You're gonna have to get 11 more ASAP. That's funny. No, if you could share with us what 41 means, because I think it used to be like Skywalker Ranch 41, and then it was like Knife Collector 41, and now it's like Hinder Collector 41. I'm sure that 41 means Gerber Collector 410. Hey, I got lots of Gerbers, bro. I really do. Please don't. Brant, you have enough. Please stop.
No.
As a friend, please stop.
Skywalker, tem.
Tudo gelado.
Você tá frozen. Voltou.
Okay.
É um picolé.
Let's see. Oh, okay. You were being funny. Okay, I thought you were talking about Gerbers. Okay, I get it now.
Grande picolé.
Oh, jeez. I saw what you did there. I know, huh? Okay. Yeah, please stop. Your collection is more than sufficient. I think what Holly's trying to say is be succinct and avoid ambiguity. No, don't be succinct. Actually, be the opposite. Be very, very wordy and overly specific. Try not to be succinct. And yes, avoid ambiguity. So, like, really spell out what you say. Don't say it in that kind of terse, common parlance way that we say things. Rather, like, really spell it out with extra verbosity, and it helps the AI to hone in on what you're actually mean. And something very interesting in Portuguese, a language that's when it's spoken, some Portuguese people themselves don't understand. I wonder if that's true, because when Brazilians speak, aside from the slang, they're very abrir. You know, it's like but the Europeans they talk like this. It's like the European Portuguese. They talk like the Spanish. It's very up here, and I'm just like, how can they understand each other? I'm like, get this Fisker's machete accent. It looks like some kind of crazy sci-fi nonsense. I know. I wouldn't flip a bird with. I've decided I have no interest in it. Really, that thing has been intriguing me for years, and now I just want to. It's why during the World War II, Portuguese was the spy land. Oh, because it's like they have a secret language and nobody speaks it.
Mm.
Or maybe you deeply want it, but don't want people to know the shame sword. Paolo, I'm in social isolation. You know, tomorrow I'll do a cotton swab test. They say it's horrible, this COVID test. No, no, it's not. It tickles.
Como não, amor? No vídeo que você fez, enfiando cotonete no seu nariz, você quase morreu. Você morrendo.
Não.
No quiero.
Oh my gosh, you guys are just out of control in this chat. Okay. 41 it is. Then he always busts out other cool stuff. Yeah, it's always better when he's on the line. Yeah, no, he doesn't only have hinderers. He has all kinds of high-end stuff. Skywarp, that was it. Skywarp 41. Thank you. 41 is when my mom died in 07. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Oh, wow. Cool. I mean, jeez, I'm sorry,
so
buddy.
Sorry. Oh, my God. Nossa, que horror.
Hey, hold on. Dang, Brad. Keep that 41 held up high. Yeah, I agree. I appreciate that. That's really awesome to know that's what your name is. I want all hinder. Do you really want you do just I mean, I guess hey, that's what collecting is, you know. Golly, bro. You got problems though, I think. Oh, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you I can't imagine. I really can't. I lost my dad this year and yeah. Yes, the pronunciation language at the beginning of misunderstanding them. Yeah, absolutely. I understand, but it's really good at what it does. Oh, really? It's good to know. It's okay, JN. What does it do though? It chops and it hacks, bro. I'm knife addicted. You are, but we all are. But you have a very specific knife addiction. You like that high end, exclusive, rare, unusual, you know? There was a time I wanted to collect every cold steel. Now I just want every knife. Yeah, I went through a cold steel thing too. I still am. You know, I love the cold steel. I think all of I think of us all. Brent is the one who has his crap together. Actually knows exactly what he wants. We're all over the place. I agree. I am very all over the place. I'm trying to hone it in. You know, I'm going down the fixed blade route. Now I'm getting into machetes. So I'm hoping to be more or less done, so that now I can really just start honing in on what I want. And especially like with folders, I'm pretty much just down to button locks at this point. I just want, you know, button locks, and micarta. Um, you know, with fixed blades, I'm just going with like small EDC fixed blades is kind of my thing now. Yeah, I agree. He is. Oh, thank you. Great. I appreciate that. I know international shipping is not cheap, so I appreciate that. I know it's just an envelope, but even still. Yeah. Um I mean, I'm kind of curious to hear your story, Brent. Like, you know, how did you get so honed in so early, so young? You know, I mean, you must have gone through that phase where you didn't know what you wanted, and then the next thing you know, you had a hinder in your hand, and you're like, oh, you know, the heavens open, and you saw God, and you're like, this is what I want. And now everything you collect is hinder level and above or equal to, you know, so you get those really, really nice customs. Um, I'm glad though, like that I'm not at that place. A, it's too expensive, and B, I still get a ton of enjoyment from my budget knives. So I still have that great innocence, you know. I EDC this guy a lot. It's a $40 knife. It's not amazing, but it's good enough. I enjoy it. It works. It cuts. Um,
Que
it
faca é essa?
fidgets.
Mordé? Mordar? Não.
Now, a CRKT,
Ah,
a BT, cara de Brian Ty, BT. É isso aí,
legal.
compacto. É veza pequeno.
Faço duplo.
I'm mostly a steel blade collector. Oh, so you're into the different types of steels? Is that it? Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, Brant, I'll link you up next time because I'm gonna cut this off. It's already at 2 hours. Yeah, no, please, let's do that next time. Jigsaw. I lost my dad when I was 7. He was 81. Holy crap. It was 1987. Yes, do the math. He was 74 when he had the jigsaw. I'm almost 38. That's cool, right? Actually, it is. That's actually really, really cool. Yes, it is. This is the tie. This is the B oops BT Fighter, but this is the BT Fighter Compact. It's 3 inches. The BT Fighter is the is a Tanto, and there is a custom, I believe, called the TIE Fighter, but this is just the CRKT $40 cheapy one. I actually in a funk. I'd be slowed down a lot. I've been thinking about buying something more expensive to see if it lights the fire, but then again, I'm cheap, so there's the problem. You know, I've already told you my journey. I got that custom Adam Purvis it's an amazing knife, but it didn't like spark anything great in me versus the smock. That did it for me. That sparked my fire. It's super fidgety, very slicey. This is the KnifeWorks exclusive one with the 20 CV and the polished G10. So it's much better than the original smock. And this is a fantastic knife. I love this knife. Gave me the feels. This White Mountain Knives exclusive micarta swayback button lock, the swags, gave me the feels. This did it for me that the Purvis just didn't. I mean, the Purvis is impressive, but it didn't give me that feeling that I get from. I paid literally just a few dollars for this. This gives me the feels. This is an M1 bayonet replica from Combat Ready with the mother of pearl, black pearl scales. I mean, this thing is ludicrously tiny. It's completely stupid, but every time I look at it, I smile. It's just so dumb, but this is fun. And it was dirt cheap. So explain that. You know, I just like knives, like this one. I feel like I got this because I felt like I was supposed to. Now, this is in my wheelhouse because it's a button lock, but I don't know what the improvement the Malibu has over my Mordax. I mean, it's sweet. It's nice looking. But I feel like I already got that from the Mordax. I don't know that this is a huge improvement on that. So, you know, like this. Okay. Doesn't this give you the feels?
Meu Deus, que legal. Eu lembro desse anel faca.
Right? This is the dragon
finger
knife. I mean, this thing is so dumb.
Dragon.
It costed, obviously next to nothing. It's super stupid. And believe it or not, at first I was like, oh, this is probably not even real steel. The knife part is 440A, which means I think I'm going to go ahead and sharpen this up and try and give it like a little razor's edge and just to fuck with it. I mean, this is just so fucking stupid. I mean, come on. This is dumb. This is dumb. But us knife guys, that's fun. That's just fun. It gives me the smiles. That is my smile knife. I honestly have no experience with any actual authentic machetes, but this is useful for clearing woods of unwanted live and dead stuff. I'll admit you need a little room to swing it. I see. Okay. Which itself is an issue, That's why it's always a compromise between something too long and too short. You want it in between. You want that Columbia River knife and tools. Yes. I know, right? For example, I have three. Oh, okay. Kershaw bare knuckle and 3 different blade steels. Right. I'm waiting for the Kaiser Feist and CPM 3V. Yeah, but I've yet Feist. Okay, I have a Feist in 35 VN. I have the Blade HQ exclusive carbon fiber one. I don't particularly like it that much, but it's the S35 VN. I don't know which versions of it still have that blade steel. I'm not crazy about that knife. I don't know if it's on second market yet. Oh, absolutely. I agree. I would like to have one smock. Yeah, I recommend either this one or the Blade HQ exclusive. Well, this one's out. This one's discontinued or out of stock anyway. It's the KnifeWorks exclusive. Blade HQ has the JG10 M4 version, but M4 is not stainless, so there's that. And it's a bitch to sharpen. Yeah, I do. The smock, I know. It's super slicey. The swag back gives me the feels, and it's in your hand. Oh my god. You guys are weird. That's the key. Find the knife that makes you smile. I agree. My first high end was full size BM grip. Okay. Not too sure I know that knife. Oh, I know I don't know that knife. I wouldn't change it for anything. It was meant to be, but it hurts from time to time. All good. We're here, right? Yeah, that's rough, man. I mean, hopefully, it's got to be tough to try and hold on to your memories of him, because you were still so young. Yes, I'm on the fence about a lot. I'm going to sign up for the AMB wait list. No, I'll check out the Dylan Mallory forals. No, I'll get it. I know. Yeah, I know. Just decide what things you like. Like I've finally ruled out the fact that short of something very special, I'm not going to get any more liner locks or frame locks. They just don't move me enough. So I'm try. What I try and do remind me of Lord of the Rings, and I end up buying one of every 5 budget knives I put in my car. Yeah, we are here, and you got some time with your dad. He held on line to give you some memories. Intro. Yeah, it's true. 7 is more than 6. Is more than 5. Is more than 4. I remember him swimming with sharks and dolphins in the Caribbean Sea. Oh wow! Benchmade Griptilian, yeah. And I also have the RSK. Oh, the BM grip. I get it. Yeah, the Griptilian. There's a good place to start because I love that 3D and the RSK. I have both. Okay, guys. Now it's even past 2 hours, so I really want to try and cut it short as soon as possible. And I think Mary's frozen again. Você é gelado? Você pode me escutar? Você é
Tô
total
te
gelado.
escutando. Tô gelada?
É,
Voltei?
é melhor.
Tá.
Então,
Tá
quero
dando
falar
tchau?
but it's very expensive to buy knives from USA. Yeah, I know. Can you get the Kaiser Feist out there in Europe? Do you guys have like a retailer? Oh, I'm sure you do. Thanks, Naz.
Eu ia,
Appreciate you being here.
eu ia fazer uma música fazendo uma paródia, mas eu esqueci. Nossa, tava
Qual
engraçado.
Qual
Era
música?
um samba. É um samba, porque Paulo te chama de Carlinhos. Aí eu fiz na minha cabeça, né?
Vai, canta
Por
essa
que
samba.
Carlinhos?
Qual?
Carlinhos de Jesus. Mas eu não lembro, eu esqueci. Eu tô com raiva, tô tentando lembrar, mas esqueci. Eu vou tentar lembrar depois. Carlinhos.
É música de Jorge Ben?
Não, é porque tem um
Carlinhos
Carlinhos
Brown?
de Jesus. Não, é porque tem um Carlinhos de Jesus também. Sabe Carlinhos de Jesus?
Carlinhos de Jesus, o professor de dança do Rio. Carioca, né?
Sim, sim. Aí eu achei ele engraçado, ele chamando de Carlinhos. E aí, Carlinhos?
Eita,
Funny.
Carlinhos.
Very funny. Aí é o Carlinhos e o Paulinho.
É, Carlinhos e Paulinho.
A dupla sertaneja. É pau e a pedra.
Cool. But you're not that much older than me. I'm 47. I'll be 48 in a couple months.
Understand.
Yeah, XO, and if it doesn't light your fire, give it to me for free, even if it doesn't light your fire. I agree. And trust me, you won't give it away. You're just going to fall in love with it. It's unbelievable. Thank you. Real quick before the tactical cuts us off, I appreciate you all. Let's de-escalate for everyone we see tomorrow because we don't know what their story is, right? That's a wonderful sentiment. Absolutely, Jigsaw. That's 100% true. I totally agree. You just don't know what someone else is going through. No worries, man. My dad died 9 years ago at age 63. It's not easy anytime, but I bet it was rough then. Yeah. 63 is so young too, bro. That's way too young. Yeah, my dad, he was, in his 70s. I just think it was 10, 20 years too early. Thanks. Tchau. Fala tchau.
Tchau, meu povo. Thank you. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
And it is getting to be that time. So good night, all. And thank you for coming out. We're nearly at 2.5 hours. So that definitely did not mean to go that long. But you guys kept it lively. And it took me forever to, get through all the comments and everything. So.
Não se esqueçam, amanhã tem sorteio.
Não, para.
Eu fico doido para que chegue sexta-feira para me ganhar.
Não.
Sexta, sábado e domingo.
Thanks, sorteio, man. I look forward to having you guys again. And yes. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I have to look at the old I'll have to look at the old stream to get your email because I forgot it. Unless you want to put it here again, Georgie.
Vamos.
Tá.
Corta para 18.
I'm glad I could be your doormat tonight. Have a good night and rest of the day. Winchester, you have a victim mentality. You whine too much. You're always feeling sorry for yourself, and you make everything about you. So you need to grow up, put on your big boy pants, and stop acting like a doormat. We won't treat you like a doormat if you don't act like. Okay. Sure. You already have my email, don't you? Oh wait, no, I hit you up on Instagram. Yeah. DM me your email too, or I have to look it up on your page, I think. So, Georgie, if you want to comment afterwards or here.
Jorge, não. Não, Jorge, você não vai mandar e-mail para essa rapariga, não. Não. Não gosto dela. Veio aqui, solta a maior bomba e depois vaza. A gata vaza, fala merda, vaza. Não, tá falta de respeito.
Tá bom.
George is not. No.
No, this not. No,
this falta de vergonha.
Okay, good night, everybody. Fala tchau, fala boa noite.
Boa noite, tchau, meu povo. Pova.
Povo.
Manda oi para os ETs. Oi. Me abduzam, pelo amor de Deus. Quero ir para o espaço. Dedica up Galaxy. Amor, para.
Menina estranha.
Eu sou. Eu sou.
Tá. Tchau, beijo.